Well, this is my first AMA hosting for Arbitrum. My name's Eli5. I'm a new community manager here at Arbitrum, and honestly, I'm really excited to get into all things Arbitrum, altcoins, NFTs, social gaming, everything. So I'm excited that the first one I get to do is with you guys because Web3 live streaming it's kind of a weak point right now in the space, and we definitely need some of that in the decentralized world. So yeah, very excited to have you guys here.
Well, thanks for having us. I think we could probably start off with the where Xeenon came from and how we why we moved over to Arbitrum to use it.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. And yeah, let me know where you guys came from and who you are and what you do in the project.
Okay, cool. So I'll start off. My name's Troy. I'm the CEO of Graviton. We are born out of the Universe ecosystem that is a NFT marketplace protocol. And so we essentially build products and platforms at a very high level of a front end that users can come in and access the Web3 ecosystem.
Hey guys, I'm Navi, and I'm the CTO at Graviton. Yeah, just echoing everything that Troy said, we really strive to build some A+ products in the Web3 ecosystem, and we're really excited to bring Xenon to you guys shortly.
Hey, I'm Zach. I'm the product owner of Xenon, and I've been focusing on making it an awesome platform for creators and fans to kind of have more engaged experiences together using Web3. So it's been exciting.
All right, great. Nice to meet you guys. And we already prefaced it, but why don't you tell us a bit about what Xenon is specifically?
Yeah, so Xenon is a live streaming platform that is built on top of Arbitrum that uses multiple different protocols, Arbitrum being one of them. We access the live peer transcoding network, and then we also reference to the Universe ecosystem for undisclosed NFT trading inside the system. But I will hand this over to Zach, or Owens actually, to give a little bit more color around that.
Yeah, Navi and I are both Zach, so I've decided to go by Owens for this one. But yeah, so basically, there's some major, like some key issues with kind of traditional live streaming regarding security, and obviously just the lack of transparency when it comes to like these platforms taking cuts from the creators on their platforms. And Xenon and blockchain technology kind of gave Xenon a way to get around that and really build a platform that's fair to everybody and transparent.
All right, yeah, that's pretty straightforward, guys. So I guess my next question would be, why Arbitrum? Why did you guys want to migrate here?
Yeah, so I'll take this one. So the a little bit of background on me is I originally came from Singular DTV, which was actually the second ICO on top of Ethereum. They were building streaming systems and other stuff like this, but it was a little too myopic. And so during all that, I saw Live Peer launch, and I originally actually wanted to start building a streaming system on top of it while I was there, but it just didn't make a lot of sense because of the gas fees. So when Live Peer moved over to Arbitrum, I started doing tests last year around like, well, is this actually feasible to work at like a scalable level? And all the tests came back off like obviously good. And so we started putting the pieces in place to actually build out an actual company and a system and a very flushed out front end to access the transcoding network, that can be paid through the Arbitrum network because the gas fees are way lower compared to mainnet. Once you have those two things in place, you actually can start building out a application layer that is just like beautiful for everyone to kind of onboard into Web3.
Okay, and so we're talking about Arbitrum Nova specifically, or Arbitrum One?
Well, Live here is on Arbitrum 1, but we definitely are looking at other developments inside of the Arbitrum ecosystem. Yeah.
All right, cool, because the Arbitrum Nova is very focused on the social and gaming aspect. So it'll help in terms of you know, speed and low transaction fees when it's more niche like that.
Yeah, I mean, so Xeenon is very much focused on just like the streaming aspect and then building out the social aspects around the platform. But we definitely are looking at Nova.
Right, and then you mentioned Live Peer. So like, I've actually never heard of Live Peer, but it seems like it's something like you guys are building on top of. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the Live Peer network moved over to Arbitrum last year, and the transcoding system that we access to actually do the video transcoding for the streaming resides inside of Arbitrum. But that Live Peer is a completely decentralized protocol.
All right, sweet. And then Universe is kind of how you guys handle the royalty infrastructure within Xenon, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so Universe is itself its own NFT marketplace protocol. That actually resides on Ethereum mainnet right now. But the idea is to expand the Universe protocol into other layer twos so that the clearinghouse of the marketplace protocol can happen all across the entire ecosystem. Our royalties are built in so that creators are always rewarded. We're like really, really big on that.
Yeah, I saw the basically like the streamer can kind of set either like per minute, per hour, just like a flat fee of like the credits that you can buy within the platform using crypto, and then that's how they can collect their I guess royalties through that.
So that's not part of the royalty system. That's actually the payment processor that is that lives on top of Arbitrum. And I think I could probably turn it over to either Navi or Owens to.
Yeah, I can jump in on that real quick. So effectively for the live streaming aspect of Xenon, the streamers will be able to decide whether they want to stream for free or whether they want to charge the viewers. And that payment processing occurs in real time directly on top of Arbitrum. We are going to be adding in some sort of like NFT clipping related functionalities, and that's where I think this marketplace clearinghouse vision that Troy just mentioned about Universe comes into play. But right off the bat, we're going to be starting directly with the payment processing straight on Arbitrum.
All right, sweet. And then yeah, so I guess my first thought, and most people's first thoughts coming from Web2 live streaming, would be what's the big difference between Xenon on Web3 versus a Web2 live streaming platform?
Oh, and
I
you
think
want to take that, or
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can take it. So first of all, like I mentioned before, the security aspect of everything. So when like on another platform, if you're using OBS to stream to it, you're generating a stream key. And that stream key is kind of just valid for your account until you reset it. And like I mentioned before, there's been a lot of cases in traditional streaming platforms where a creator will have their stream key basically hijacked, and then their stream gets taken over by some random person that's being malicious. So with Xenon, we actually generate the stream key using some concatenation of the wallet address keys, and that makes it so that like you'll have to generate a stream key each time you go live, but the security behind that is really pretty novel and something I'm excited about. in addition to, and we do that on with Arbitrum and a wallet signature. So the stream key is unique for each stream, and basically there's no chance of getting hijacked for your stream unless you give somebody the stream key that you literally just generated using your wallet. And then another key difference is the transparency, and this like ties back into how we use Arbitrum for our payment database. And this is something that like I was really big on, is like I want a lot of, or I wanted a lot of the payment data to be on chain, and so that like a user, a viewer that's watching a stream can see exactly um, where the credits are going, um, how many credits got taken out, um, and everything can just be transparent on chain, and there's no like mystery as to like, oh, I streamed and somebody tipped me 50 credits. Well, I only received 30. Where did those other 20 go? And Xenon, our entire payment database resides on Arbitrum. So
Yeah, I think that is one of the first thing that comes to mind for me when I think about that transparency on, let's say, like, let's use the big example of Twitch. We've probably all streamed on Twitch and watch streams, and yeah, that's it. Once you tip, or you just don't really see where it goes past that. And if you're a streamer, you have to wait to receive your payout at certain, like, once a month or something. And yeah,
exactly.
there's not really a breakdown given to you. So I love that you can see everything on chain, like using Arbiscan or ETHScan. And I think if everyone here didn't know, one of the good things about Arbitrum and like optimistic rollups is that it's all secured by Ethereum. So the transaction, every transaction you make on Arbitrum is secured on the Ethereum layer, which is a big deal.
And with Arbitrum, we have been able to build some systems that have allowed for like very high throughput of transactions. So like if you think about streaming, if you have 100 streams on a platform at once, and each stream has at least 1,000 viewers, and all of the streams end at once, and each stream was charging 5 credits a minute. Well, like that's a lot of transactions at once, and kind of Arbitrum plus the back end systems that we've built have allowed us to bulk transactions and do so efficiently to the point to where we have the throughput that we need to scale up to where Twitch is at.
Yeah, that's actually a really big deal, because like you already have ETH 2.0 now, then Arbitrum speeding that up like 7 to 14x, and then you guys building what you need to on top of that to bundle it even more. It's because that's what you need for gaming and streaming and social stuff, is really fast, frictionless, like no waiting time.
Exactly, and that was probably the biggest like hurdle that we had to jump over, because Arbitrum is fast, but we needed to make sure that we could scale up um, with some level of being adopted by the streaming community, and we've been spending a lot of time making sure that our payment system is rock solid.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
Just to add some color to that, the other thing that's like awesome is that outside of other, like just beyond the payment system, is that Arbitrum is completely EVM compatible. So the ability for us to actually build logic into the front end that utilizes the Ethereum Solidity contracts, like we can build new features that access Web3 directly into the front end, so everyone can like utilize this new system past just the payment processing. So like you could have done something like this on top of like XDAI, but that was just a payment processor. The fact that Arbitrum is a layer 2 and we can also put logic into the system is like the game changer at the application layer for the front end.
Yeah, exactly. You're leveraging that layer 2 application transaction speed, and yeah, XDAI, you can do POAPs on XDAI, and it's really quick and there's no fee. But then there's such a limitation on that.
One more thing I want to hit on, a little bit of alpha for Xenon, that makes it different from a Web 2 platform, a Web 2 streaming platform, is the fact that since we're on Web 3, we can actually do some things, and we have some things built to actually let creators reward their pre-existing communities like NFT holders, token holders, in the fact that we're building something where a user or a creator can actually drop a contract address in and say, okay, if you own a token from this contract, you'll get this stream for X amount of credits or free. But then if you don't own this token, then you need to pay, Y amount of credits. So allowing creators to really like facilitate unique experiences and empower their communities a little bit was a big point for us as well.
So is the idea that you'll actually have a utility token for it as well, like a Xeenon token, let's say, to convert to the credits?
No. There will be no token for Xenon or Graviton.
No token. It's more of like if you're an artist, like say a 3D artist wants to live stream some like work in progress type of content on Xenon, and they already have a NFT community built on the ETH network or on the Arbitrum network, they could add the holders of that NFT contract on some discount list for the stream so that they can offer their community the stream for free. But then somebody that doesn't hold the token will have to pay some sort of amount of credits if they choose.
That's really great. So you can leverage the verification process of the blockchain to
right,
to
and
do
that's something that you
stuff.
can't do, and that I've seen a handful of kind of Web3 native streamers want to be able to do on Twitch, but it's just something you can't do without being built natively on Web3.
Right, and the best they can do is just make like subscriber only chat mode, which is kind of meh.
Right, but then they still, that subscription is still off chain, and it's
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're doing some cool things, and it's been really exciting to build this. Just as an artist myself, like I'm excited to use it. So I hope everybody else is too.
Yes, I guess on the bigger scope, where do you see like Xenon in the whole Web3 economy?
So, from we're gonna leverage the Web3 ecosystem to begin with, but the real main goal is actually to like inject this infrastructure into what we affectionately call the normies world. And so we kind of think that this infrastructure will almost become like almost hidden in the background, and that anyone can onboard into the system, but it's still transparent on chain, right? So anyone with an email or a social like network around them can onboard into the system, and then the Web3 infrastructure underneath it will be like where it's all happening essentially.
And then, when you talk about building, to scale in Web3, obviously new projects have to face a lot of challenges. And so I guess I'm just curious what kind of challenges you guys have faced, small or big, and maybe how you've overcome them.
I mean, I think the biggest challenge was actually scaling the payment processing, right? Like, and that's where Arbitrum really comes in and gives us a new window to create these application layer front ends.
Yeah, like we went way overboard when it came to making sure that this thing is ready to launch. We didn't want to build a product that's like, oh, this is awesome, it works on day one, but then after a month we gain a couple thousand users. Then it starts to like break down after a couple weeks of adoption, and yeah, we wanted to just make sure that it was going to work under heavy load, and so we've been doing like initially we wanted to launch earlier this month, but we have just been doing weeks and weeks of load testing, and we have a group of beta testers that helps us out with that, and that's been awesome.
Speaking of beta, is there any way right now for people to sign up at the moment for private testing?
So it's actually pretty close to our launch, and so that the beta testing is kind of closed off. But if anybody is interested, we're actually looking for some artists or some people that are interested in streaming like on our launch day actually. So if anybody's interested in that, like feel free to DM either myself, Troy, or Navi, and we can help you out.
All right, their DMs are open, confirmed.
Nice.
And then when you talk about, one of the challenges is like scaling the payment systems and the viewership and everything. You obviously then have to look on the other side of the coin, which is the security and privacy, which we touched on briefly, but I'm curious, like, the more deeper details on how you intend to implement those kind of things.
Okay, so everything is connected to your Web3 wallet, right? So if you want to stream anonymously, you'll be able to. If you want to dox yourself, you'll be able to. It's kind of up to the user to choose if they want to be known or not. Um, we also have we also have like phone applications that will be broadcasting, so you'll be able to download it onto iOS and Android. All you need is a Web3 wallet, and you'll be able to connect and stream. But the privacy kind of lands on the user themselves and who they want to be.
Not only the streamer, but also the viewer. Like if you want to privately view a stream, you can. It ends up being whether or not you doxed your wallet or not. So we're really striving to keep this pretty like Web3 native, and um, just being degens ourselves at Graviton, like we value the privacy aspect of blockchain.
Yeah, of course, the privacy and the autonomy it brings. So I guess speaking of creator autonomy, what are some benefits and like incentives creators will have to be using Xenon, to make them want to use it and learn something new and get involved?
I think to start off, a lot of it will be like the Web3 tools that we're building around the Xenon ecosystem inside of Graviton. So we have other systems that are in development right now that will plug into Xenon. But off the rip, I think a lot of it will be the ability to like launch NFTs, have your community like jump in and be part of the system. Um, we I don't want to give away too much alpha here. Um, there is certain aspects of the Web2 streaming systems that we are going to mimic and make better inside of Xenon, so that we create this idea of the collaborative economy. We call it the collab economy, instead of just the creator economy. So the idea is that fans and artists work together to actually produce content, and inside that, they all share in the same economy that is being created. So if you look at like Web2, a lot of work is done by fans of creators, but they get no actual monetary reward. Um, but what we can do in the Web3 ecosystem is actually build the ability for fans and artists to share in that same economy. That's like from a high level where we're headed, but I could hand it over to either Navi and Owens to add to that.
Yeah, I'll add a few different things. So, I mean, I think one thing is just the ability to get paid right away. Like as soon as your stream is over, if you were running a premium stream and you had viewers, you can cash out your credits to DAI like as soon as that stream is over. So we think that that's pretty cool. Um, Two other things I'll touch on is that let's say that you are a streamer on an existing Web2 platform. Um, it's actually possible to just take that existing stream that you may be serving to Twitch or somewhere else, and you can pipe that into Xenon as well. So, we know that people have existing audiences elsewhere, and we don't just assume that people are going to make a hard switch. But so we do have the tools in place to help you run them simultaneously, which we think is kind of a courteous thing to the streamer. And let's see. I thought I had one other thing, and it has just slipped my mind.
Well,
Oh, you know what? I remember it now, actually. The other angle of this is we've really been thinking about, like, how do we make more people content creators? Like, not everybody would say, oh, yeah, I'm a streamer. And we have some pretty innovative ideas and things that are, like, actually in motion and that we know will work, where I'm not going to spill all the beans, but let's say that you are just somebody who may own NFTs, but you're not necessarily creating content with them at the moment. We have a system in place that's going to actually allow you, uh, let's just say, to monetize your holdings in a certain way that will bring new content to Xenon.
Okay, sweet. And then
Oh yeah, I was wondering where you were going there, Navi. But yeah, that's also very exciting. I think I just want to add, just touch. I already talked about it, but just to touch on it one more time. I think the the folks that already have Web3 communities built around some NFT or some contract, and being able to reward those holders of your pre-existing contracts is huge for creators in this space.
right, so this is kind of about like integrating Xenon into the current streaming market and vice versa, integrating the streaming market into the Xenon, because at the end of the day, you're going to be bringing in existing streamers, not just new content creators. I was just curious, when you're talking about being able to like integrate their existing stream into Xenon pretty seamlessly, is it kind of like let's say I'm streaming on Twitch, can I very easily just like use the Xenon like Web3 tech on top of Twitch, or do you have to?
Yes. The short answer is yes. We have I've made some docs around this. It's docs.xenon.xyz. But essentially, like when people stream to Twitch and YouTube, and there you can do something called multi-stream that, like, right now really only works with the Web2 streaming platforms. But the way that we've built in our stream key verification system is, you can actually multi-stream to not only Twitch, YouTube, and other platforms, but also include Xenon in there as well.
All right, great. It's kind of like I'm just picturing it as like a layer two streaming service, if that makes sense in my head.
Well, like almost all streaming, like people that stream for a living or stream frequently, are using a streaming studio like desktop application. And so within that, there's some things that need to happen on the platform, or the platform needs to accept certain parameters to be able to like let you use those streaming studios. And so we've fully opened this up to streamers that are kind of already accustomed to um, multi-streaming on different platforms, and also have tried to make it as easy as possible for people that have never streamed before in their life to come on and see it on and start making content.
Right, like using OBS and streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, we can show OBS here. So we have the same infrastructure. So if you're streaming on Twitch, if you're streaming on YouTube, it's the same process. You use OBS to create like the high value kind of stream. We have that same infrastructure in place, so it'll be just plug and play immediately.
Okay, sweet. That's actually really good. I was going to ask about that. Like, will people be able to use OBS to stream on Xenon, basically?
Yeah, exactly. So the thing that Owens was talking about earlier about the security around the stream key, that it's connected to your Web3 wallet, which is verified through the Arbitrum network. And that stream key is then generated through a signature, and then you just plug it into Xenon, and it goes, or you plug it into OBS, and then it goes through Xenon.
As far as I know, nobody does that yet, except for us. So that's cool.
All right, and then I guess we've talked about a little bit of the way you want to do some early adoption. I know you don't want to give too much alpha away, but what can you already say about that early adoption incentive and efforts?
We actually have a referral program in place. So when we do go live, everybody that was on the beta allow list and the folks that do end up DMing us and getting through onto that beta stream list that we have will be granted 5 referrals each. And then the people that they refer will get another 5 referrals. So we kind of want to just spiderweb this out, and we have to, we're not opening it up immediately for everybody to go live, but there will be a referral program in place.
And just to add a little bit of color to that, the reason why it won't be completely open at the beginning is because there are some legal hurdles that we have to get through. We're working with a project called Privy to create an environment in which we'll be able to open it up relatively very soon. And everyone will be able to stream at that point.
All right, that's really good. And then basically, like, it'll kind of keep snowballing. Like each beta tester has 5 referrals, and then will those 5 people each get 5 referrals as well, or?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you could game it. Just a little heads up there to everyone on here. But yeah,
transparency.
Yeah.
And then that'll kind of also let you kind of scale a little bit, tempered, so you're not like overloading. You can kind of like just see how things are going as it slowly builds out.
Yeah. So we've spent a lot of time load testing the entire system. It's been fun watching us blow it up periodically every other week so far, but we have it at a place now that I think everyone on the call would agree that it's ready to go.
Yeah, like you want to break it when you're testing, basically, in my experience. Just want to overload it.
Yeah, we've been breaking it.
A lot of breaking going on.
Just throwing it across the room and kicking it down the street. All right, so I guess we talked a lot about like the short term, plans and midterm, but if you can, and if you've already like thought about it, what's like, years down the road, what are you guys seeing with this?
So Xeenon kind of plays into the larger mission statement of Graviton, which I touched on a little bit about, like creating this collaborative economy. We are going to be iterating exclusively on Xeenon to begin with to build the tools to allow for the artists and the fans to collaborate together and share in that same economy. And that's kind of like the end game, right? So we really want to, like, instead of having these vertical long tail creators, we really want to have like a horizontal network of allowing the fans to also be part of this giant, like what it is now is the creator economy. And that's like 100% where we're heading.
And just to add to that a little bit, I think building a platform that facilitates like user or creator and fan interaction, not only on a monetary, like economic level, but also just like fun and engaging ways to get the people that are watching your streams kind of involved in the content itself of that stream is really important to me and important to us at Graviton. So I think that we'll be building some things on top of Xeenon that allow that to happen.
Yeah, and when you talk about horizontal growth, you're basically leveraging things that already exist, right? Just for those who don't know that terminology.
Yeah, so they exist or we'll make them. So what I mean by that is, like, right now you have creators on YouTube or Twitch that you have to join inside of their system. They reap all the benefits. Inside of what we're going to do is making it so that everyone kind of shares the same playing field. Obviously, there will be verticals inside of the horizontal build, but everyone is going to share inside of the same economy.
All right, when you say that, it kind of makes me think about and if you can't answer this, that's fine. But like when you think of financial tools in DeFi, there's a lot of fee revenue sharing. So what's like the equivalent of that in the Xenon ecosystem, if there is?
Okay, you want me to give the alpha? The essentially what it means is that people that are holding certain media digital assets will also be getting rewards. So like in DeFi, a lot of the revenue share is actually going into the DAO treasuries. And then the people that are holding the token have governance over that. It's not actually like direct revenue share. I mean, if you did that, you're going to create a security, right?
Of course.
We're obviously not doing that, but there are aspects of the Web3 ecosystem right now that we can leverage to allow for people to enjoy that monetary ecosystem together.
Okay, I won't. That's a good answer. I won't poke further.
Please don't.
And then that kind of gets into like how, because you guys are from Graviton, how Graviton is pushing, your collaboration economy forward.
Yeah, so Graviton so we have platforms and then we also have tools. So right now the platform is Xeenon, but then we also have tools like NFT embed, NFT display, and then our soon coming NFT torrent system that, yeah. So like these tools underneath the platforms allow for the artists to create content, and then the fans can also collaborate using the tools to share in the system.
That's sweet. I love that. I'm hoping that I'll eventually not use Twitch anymore in a year or 2 years, and just everything will be Web3.
I mean, that's kind of the goal, right?
Yeah, we hope so too.
I don't think I've heard of companies like Twitch getting involved too much in the Web3 vision. They probably don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're looking at it, but they're also weary a little bit. So like, we're gonna break the ice, and then it's gonna be, a run to the finish line for the system.
I mean, they essentially do the same things. There's no transparency in it, and so there's some shady things going on in the background with the fees that they take. So.
Oh, of course, it goes without saying. But without naming any names, just to understand the landscape as a whole, not just on Ethereum, but are there a lot of projects trying to push for like a decentralized creator economy and streaming, or have you guys found there's not a lot out there?
There's definitely a burgeoning like system that's out there. Like I know for a fact that like a lot of VCs out there are investing directly into this type of ecosystem, and they're looking for ways to do what we're saying. We're going to create like a horizontal economy, not these vertical like long tail systems. Some of it gets into kind of bigger scope of where the tech industry is going around AI and jobs going towards automation. And like if you listen to like A16Z or any of these other giant venture capitalist firms, they're looking for ways to like rise up the creators. But it has to be shared. So we're very aware of other players in the field. And I would expect to see a lot more coming very soon.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing I find is a lot of times we focus on the creator side of it, but the majority is going to be the audience, the users who are supporting the creators.
Yeah, the community.
Exactly.
Like it's really about like rewarding the community around you and then working with that community. And then inside of that community, you'll also have other creators that like show up, right? And so it kind of becomes this spider web of creators and fans, and then it like that distinction becomes blurred long term.
Yeah, and you want every creator wants to reward their community, but it also helps if the systems they're building on empower them to do so and facilitate that really well, which Web3 is always can get better, but it is doing a better job than Web2.
Yeah, I mean Web3 is like the perfect system for it because it's completely transparent. even the like if you look at like Twitch, right? Like Owens was saying earlier, there's no way to really know like what's going on behind the scenes. Everything at Xenon is on chain. So you're able to see what's happening, and you can see if, to use a vernacular of art industry, you can see if like you're getting rugged essentially, and who's like where the money's going and everything like that. So that is a huge one up for the Web3 creator ecosystem.
Yeah, and as you were saying, it's great that you can also leverage the privacy on top of that if that's your style or the way you want to be seen or not seen.
One thing to add there is like just for example, like one of my good friends, I have some friends in the music industry. One of my good friends is Monty Booker, and he does a lot of live streaming on Twitch, and he'll kind of pull in his like Discord community and basically drop them like a zip file of like different sounds, like a sound pack, and then in the stream he'll go live and review like his community's beats that they make from that sound pack. And like just off the bat, I'm sure that we can all come up with many different ways that we can leverage Web3 ecosystem to kind of facilitate that and make it even more rewarding for the community.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you think of live streaming, you know, music is a big part of that. It's not just gaming and it's not just live art. And, you know, like during COVID, how many live concerts did people watch in person? Probably like next to none. And streaming really took
Right.
over there.
But not
Yeah, I
only
mean,
that, but
some of my favorite like mixtapes that came out of the COVID era, where you just had DJs sitting in an apartment in like Hollywood, just throwing a set together, and everyone's just watching it. And I still listen to those to this day. Like some of the best art came out of that.
for sure. Imagine you're doing some sort of competition like that with your community, where it's like, all right, who can make the best beat with this, zip file full of sounds, and then instead of just like getting kudos on the live stream, it's like maybe the creator has a pool of credits from the live stream that's going towards that winner. Um, maybe I'm dropping too much alpha, but
I like it. You're going in the right place here.
Yeah, don't stop. Keep just putting alpha. It's fine. I'll mute myself.
yeah, there's some things that I can't really talk about on here, but I like I'll kind of drop a little bit is like, obviously we're all degens in this space and we like trading or gambling. There's a better way to put it maybe, but having some sort of interactive betting experience with the creator would be also a really fun way to use the tech.
You say vetting?
Betting, like gambling, yeah.
Oh, betting. Yeah, I mean, I've seen people on Twitch have to like come up with custom ways to include betting and gamifying things because they're not built in. So yeah, it'd be really cool if
Well, like
if you
that's the great thing about Web3 is like we can build modular applications, right? So where other people can build their own plugins on top of what we're building, and as Graviton can build their own plugins that kind of just come with the app, but eventually, like you were asking about long-term vision, like I think we really want this to be a modular platform where developers can go and sell certain plugins or offer plugins for free that they make um, to the users of Xenon.
like an open source economy, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, we all love that in Web3 especially. And I don't think we touched on this at all, but when is it? Do you have plans for a public launch?
Yeah, so it's going to come out of beta in the next couple weeks. We don't want to put a specific date on it, but I would say pay attention right after Thanksgiving week.
American Thanksgiving?
American Thanksgiving, yeah.
I'm Canadian, so I got to clarify.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
All right, that's a lot sooner than I thought.
Yeah, so it's been in development for almost a year now. Like I was saying earlier, like I started testing out if this was even feasible when LivePeer moved to Arbitrum. And we had like an MVP kind of up and running at the beginning of the year, but we made the decision to lean in hard on it, and now we have like this really nice front end with applications that will end up on your phones. So it's going to be a pretty fleshed out system, and it should be very easy to just like connect, enjoy, and experience.
Oh, that actually brings up a good question. At launch, is it going to be available on mobile dApp browsers and desktop, or just one at first?
So the mobile app will only be available for broadcasting, but you will be able to connect through like MetaMask if you want to watch it on your phone.
Yeah, so we're gonna launch with iOS apps, Android apps, and full web support.
Right. Oh, sweet. That's great. That doesn't happen often. So you guys are really breaking things in beta then on different devices.
And we do plan on kind of expanding the mobile app in the future so that there's more than just broadcasting from it. But as any app developer knows that's working in Web3, the submission process specifically for Apple can be a pain when it comes to working with blockchain. They really don't like it for some reason.
Yeah, their due diligence is pretty hardcore for apps.
Yeah, but we're good to go though. We're good to go. Like it's available. Like it will be available, like at launch.
Yeah, we're ready to press the button to drop the app. Just when we get into people spending credits on their apps that they download from the App Store, it gets a little tricky.
Oh, I guess so. So you have the app, but if they, like, let's say you're using MetaMask, and then you go to the browser for dApps, can you go to it through there as well, or would you have to download it?
100%. You can watch streams from your phone using MetaMask browser for sure.
All right, that's great. So you guys don't have to like worry if Apple's being Apple.
No, but we have some ways around it. We want to deliver a great like native app experience as well. But at first, it'll be broadcasting apps for Android and iOS, and then the fully fleshed out web app.
All right, great. Well, we have time for questions if you guys want to take some, and if there's anyone who wants to raise their hand and ask some questions for the team of Xeenon.
100%. Bring them up, and then at the end, before we drop off, we have one question for you. Only one.
Okay. I think I know what it is, but. All right, so we got Andrew up here. He's still connecting.
What's up, Andrew?
There we go.
I heard there was one question. No, I just wanted to jump on and say, like, I just think this is so fascinating. I was at Amazon the last 3 years, and obviously, Twitch was one of our acquisition kind of sister companies, and there's just a lot of what you guys have talked about in this that candidly was things that I wish we had been looking at or doing, and obviously there's different capabilities with different technologies, but I just think this is super fascinating. And I'm based in LA and worked in Hollywood for about 10 years. So if there's any introductions we can make that are helpful, like I really do see this being something that would benefit a lot of the Hollywood and entertainment community, especially creators.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely shoot me a DM and let's connect. Let's get in a Telegram chat.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and Andrew's our CMO at Arbitrum, just to clarify.
Yeah, I see that. If you want to check out the platform before release, just like I said, hit me up and we'll get you on.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, guys.
Imagine it was just a random guest who just happened to have worked at Amazon. He's like, yeah, like let me connect you guys. All right, thanks, Andrew. We got lead man GH. Wait for them to connect. All right, we'll while they're connecting, I'll just approve another request here. Our crypto. Oh,
Lead
I think
man, what's going
Lead
on?
man's here. He's good. Any questions, Lead man?
you're on mute if you don't know. There you go.
Good evening to you all. Right from Africa, Ghana. Xenon, I think the project is very nice, and listening to you, I'm very thrilled with what. Kudos to the team and everyone here. Um, Streaming is one thing that Africans have been actually trying to do a lot, and I think that bringing this up will really help. And it's kind of only streaming, so streaming plus doing other things in a game is just amazing. So yeah, kudos. Thank you very much, and good evening to you all. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thanks, lead man.
just to kind of add on to that, like one of the things that's so awesome about Web3 is that this economic ecosystem is available to everyone, right? So like the coin of the realm is DAI. The credits are bought in DAI, so you will be rewarded in DAI for what you're doing. And that is easily, translated into Africa, into Asia, into Europe, into America. We all use the same ecosystem, so you don't have to go through the traditional financial system to even worry about any of this. And you have like the Web3 ecosystem and your wallet just like right there. So like the hurdles that like centralized systems are using, you will not have inside of our ecosystem.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, the reason that is because DAI is owned by MakerDAO, and that's so it's probably one of the most fully decentralized stable coins as much as it could be at this point. All right, thank you, Leadman. Our crypto, do you have a question for these guys or comments?
Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah,
we
We got
hear
you,
you.
brother.
Okay. Congratulations, guys, for coming up with such a great idea and bringing up the world talent on this platform. I really appreciate the kind of idea you got. And after this, I need to I have a small question. I am from India, so where we don't have Twitch over here. So I don't know whether it will be available later on or not. But apart from that, is there any other platform where we can just put on all the talents, what you are to reach your goal?
So to answer the first question, it will be available at the launch in India. And I think the other question was kind of around onboarding into it, and I can probably hand that over to Owens or Navi, but it's going to be incredibly easy to jump in if you're already
Okay,
trading on something else.
fine. And I really appreciate you guys, just bringing people from all the places of the world into the Web3 world. And I congratulate you guys and best of luck. At the same time, I really appreciate the kind of explanation you people are giving. Any layman can easily understand the kind of technology you're bringing into it. I really appreciate and thank you so much for giving me the time.
Well, we appreciate you, man. I do want to just stress that the concept behind a lot of what Graviton is building is to make it incredibly easy for the layman to join, even if you don't have a wallet on your browser yet.
Okay.
We're striving hard for that because we want to bring the next 100 million users into the Web3 ecosystem.
Yeah, we can see the efforts. And later on, we're going to see the results also. I hope so.
Yeah, I agree. We can Eli 5 it along the way. Explain it all simply.
Nice.
I didn't realize
But
that.
thank you.
That's
Thank you
perfect.
so much, guys. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
And shoot me a
And
DM
good
if
luck.
anybody
And good
that's
luck.
speaking wants to check out the platform and get on so you have some referrals and you can bring your friends on once we go live. So yeah, just shoot me a DM.
Yeah, and just to add on, I think he may have asked where to follow up. We have there's a pinned tweet up at the top. Follow our Twitter. We've got some website links on there too, or just hit us up personally.
All right, thank you, our crypto. Shethi, do you have a question for these guys or comment? Well, while we wait for them to unmute, Liedman wanted to come up again. Hey, Liedman. You got the mic, buddy.
Maybe accidental.
Yeah, maybe accidental, yeah. Or you just fall in love with the stage, you wanna just hang out on the stage.
That's all good. Everybody gets the stage with Xeenon.
Yeah. And Arbitrum.
Yeah, let's get it.
Oh, he requested again. Add a speaker. All right. And they're gone.
Shethi, what's going on?
I think it's a connection problem, man. Like,
We can hear you now, though. No, maybe they meant internet connection. Try talking, Shethi. You're unmuted.
I put my question.
All right, maybe type it in the chat if you want. Well, in the meantime, do you guys have any other things you want to cover that we didn't get to talk about? Any questions?
I mean, I think we got one question.
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Yes.
When token?
That's too obvious.
That's like every time that we have any like cross engagement with Arbitrum, it's just all the replies, hundreds of replies of when token.
And that's the stream, everyone. I gotta go. See you later.
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen.
Oh, Andrew wants to get back up here. Gladly. Hello, Andrew.
I won't tell you, but I'll tell you this. She shucks seashells by the seashore.
So September.
Wake me up when September ends. That's
Very nice. Okay, well, we really appreciate you guys having us up here. This has been awesome, and we appreciate all the support from Arbitrum. And just one more call out to the audience. If anybody's interested in checking out the platform, you want to get on early, and you want some referrals for your friends once we're in production, just hit us up. So we got you.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Definitely drop me a beta in my DMs. I want to try it out ASAP. And yeah, everyone go follow them on Twitter. Go retweet their stuff and get engaged. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.